Good evening, friends. Welcome to Positively Godfrey Daniels, live from 4th Street, where we're coming to you from our stage here on 4th Street. Some of you might recognize that iconic quilt in the background there. This evening's featured guest is Antje Duvekot. Antje is coming to us from her home studio in Boston. She has been on our stage a few times here. And we're glad to have her back this evening. Hi, Antje.
Hi, Ramona. How are you?
It's so good to see you.
Good
We're
to
looking
see you as
forward
well.
to the music this evening, and we'll catch up during the break. Okay? All right. Everybody, please make her feel welcome. Antje Duvekot.
Oh, thank you. I love how you called it my home studio. That makes it sound like I have a home and a home studio. But my home studio is my home, my one-bedroom apartment, which has been my stage for more or less a year now. I really can't wait to be back at actual Godfrey Daniels, and I'm sure you feel the same way about that. Hi, Wayne. It's nice to see you out there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again. I feel like last time I saw you was at that Dar Williams opener, maybe. Those were good days, but they're coming back slowly and surely. So until then, I shall play you a song. So this is called Vertigo. You're on a highway and I'm climbing out. I feel the danger as I steal a kiss from your mouth. And I will try to hold steady. I wanna make you believe that the height of this tightrope is just second nature to me. I will break all my bones, 'cause I lied about the vertigo, and I have never been up this high. There'll be no safety net when I fall right out of the sky. There will be no ambulance waiting, and I have no wings to fly. Hey. And we will meet on the borders, barefoot and blessed, in colorful graveyards with flower bouquets for the dead. And I won't ask you to promise that I will not come to harm. When the wind tugs my courage, will you be my brother in arms? I will break all my bones, 'cause I lied about the vertigo, and I have never been up this high. There will be no safety I trust that you can hear me out there. If there's any issues with it being too quiet or too loud, just shoot a note in the comments. Nice to see you guys out there. So I'll play some new songs now, or maybe in the second set. I don't know. Sure, we'll play some new songs now. I'll play you my favorite song that I wrote in the pandemic. I don't know, sometimes you get lucky and you write a song that you actually really like, and you're like, whoa, that's a surprise. It's a mystery. I never know where the songs come from. And I have so little control over it when I'm writing that I'm always pleased. It's almost like opening a gift box and being like, oh, well, that wasn't a nice gift. That just came out of that. And sometimes it's not like that. It's like, oh, that was an underwhelming gift. But you never really know. You never know until it's done. But this is a song I was pleased with when I finished it. It's called Traces, and it's about a telephone romance. Maybe I'll do it a little higher up on the guitar. There we go. I leave you traces, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You coming in stages, 1, 2, 3, closer by degrees. In the dim beyond the in-between, the perimeter of dreams, so far beyond the contour, so much closer than it seems. Like a string to a kite, I think you might have just the hands to hold me. Your voice on the wire, like an unseen fire, unravels and unfolds me. The hum of electricity is coming through the static. It could be love, and all the riots of uncertainty go quiet whenever you are on the line. We are made of time, and I could linger and stay until the end. Follow your fingers to where the pavement ends. When I would trace your silhouette that I have never traced, and in a world thrown off its axis, so you'd spin me into place, and all the riots of uncertainty go quiet. I'm just a pin drop on this line. We are made of time. I sailed my ship from beach to beach. There were things I loved in each. There were things I took with me. There were some I had to leave. I ran my ship against the storm. I've been lost, I've nearly drowned. Some days I ran into regret, with joy and pain out on the town. I've seen things that I've never seen. The shells I gathered, my beliefs. I've bathed in the Amazon rain. So many things I can't explain, like how you followed the same star when we were anchoring in harbors and gleaming ports. I sat and dined where I found revelry and wine, but all those words, they were not mine. So many songs I've learned and sung. I love the landscape, but nobody knew my tongue. I leave you traces, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You coming in stages, 1, 2, 3, closer by degrees. In the dim beyond the in-between, the perimeter of dreams, so far beyond the contour, so much closer than it seems. So that's a new one, and I'm hoping to record that. I am going to make a record sometime this year, I promise. Just been pretty busy, but we're gonna get it done, and some of those new ones will appear on the record. Maybe I'll just keep in the vein of new songs, and then I'll do old ones later. So this one was also written during the pandemic, and it's about like the moment last summer when things really were dark. It just felt like the world had been forsaken. There was just so much tension in this country, and we had a horrible president, and COVID was running wild, and we had no idea that there would, I mean, we were hoping there'd be a vaccine, but it was super precarious. And it just sort of felt like the world had been, you know, whoever's in charge was like not minding the shop or something like that. I'm not really a believer in a greater power myself, but it felt like that. It felt like the greater power had taken off. And so in this song I took the guardian angel Gabriel, and I made him be depressed. So that's why he stopped being a very good guardian angel. So this is called Gabriel. Gabe, you've gone silent. You're out on the island, are you blue? Under blue skies, your vigilant prison guards, your diligent soldiers are leading the sacrifice. Upshot of the undertow, you are moonbeams and bones. You are tangled up in countless weeds. You're wound up like nervous twine. You are bound up round and tightly. And Gabriel, send us a sign. Ooh, what kind of angel are you? Who will be our guardian now? You are the labyrinth maker. Why can't you find your way out? Can't you find your way out? Gabriel, make some noise, will you? You gotta use your voice if you wanna turn the dark to light. You're wound up like nervous twine. You are wound up round and tightly. Ooh. And you say the four-leaf clovers always pass you over. Gabriel, it's time to lay down the dusty pages of that old outdated storyline. And Gabriel, send us a sign. Ooh, what kind of angel are you? Who will be your guardian now? You are the labyrinth maker. Why can't you find your way out? Can you find your way out? You assemble yourself like a fictional work, like some inanimate picture of who you think you once were, back when you sold your dreams for some ornate mythology. And now you're wading through the underground trenches of memory. They're beating down the doors, but you're just waiting for the cure, bogged down in Bible verses, but they were never yours. Aren't you the artist martyr? You wear your ruin like a cloak, like some badge of honor. Aren't you Vincent van Gogh? What kind of angel are you? Who will be your guardian now? You are the labyrinth maker. Why can't you find your way out? So that one's called Gabriel. It's a little bit sad. I'll play you maybe a little bit more of an upbeat one that I wrote recently. This is my newest song, actually. And I wrote it for Earth Day 2021. So I was commissioned by an institute called the Goethe Institute. They're a German culture and language institute, and they wanted me to write their official 2021 Earth Day song. So I was really honored and excited that they tasked me with this. But I was also like, I don't often write songs on commission, and I wasn't sure if I could write a song that's like about a sort of a theme that's given to me ahead of time, because I tend to write, personal songs. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens. So the theme for Earth Day was, I don't even remember. Yeah, anyway, so I looked up the theme. I looked up the theme for Earth Day. Oh my God, why am I blanking now? It was something like regenerate or something like that. So I like really researched before I started writing the song. That was my plan. It's like, if I learn a lot of stuff about the environment and all the challenges we're facing, then I'll be able to write a better Earth Day song. That was my thinking. But in truth, I did so much research about all the things that are really messed up with our poor little planet, that I got super depressed instead about the state of things. And that was a huge problem, because I think typically Earth Day songs are supposed to be a little bit hopeful and uplifting. But honestly, after I watched all those documentaries about overfishing and plastics and the devastation of habitat, and the loss of species, and I just felt like, oh no, we are screwed. And so that wasn't really lining up with writing a song that had a positive message, but I wanted to. And so I sat down in front of my little empty page, and I just thought about, how can I make this personal, and how can I make it about my own struggle to do the best I can for the earth and to try to be more aligned with nature. And at that very moment, I happened to hear a coyote howling outside of my window, just as I was like, what do I write about? So I decided I would just start talking to the coyote and make it personal, because that's the only way I know to write songs. So I talked to the coyote about how my life doesn't feel quite right, because I just feel like we consume too much and we're out of touch with our animal selves and our rhythms. And so this is me talking to the coyote. That was a really long introduction. Hey coyote, are you out there? Can you lead me to my ancient self? Hey glitter on the water, I think I need help. I keep dry and I keep warm, got all this shelter from the storm. I can turn summer into winter, night into day with a switch. We can turn less into more, but we don't anymore understand which is which. Hey, perfection of a dewdrop, can you lead me to my healing spot? I thought I was independent, but I guess I forgot that I've got Milky Ways and one neuron alone. I got riverbeds in my bones, and I am no less a part of this, a part of all this. Show me the road less traveled, let's follow it back to the source, before the balance unraveled, before we lost our course. Hey coyote, are you out there? Hey coyote, are you out there? Have we come to a dividing line? Hey pollen on a bee's wing, do we still have the time to save your habitat with habits that inhabit that? We have the facts with habits that stop the ransack. We can grow less, so you grow back. Show me the road less traveled, let's follow it back to the source, before the balance unraveled, before we lost zerbrechlich und Unersetzlichkeit. Don't worry if you suddenly didn't understand language anymore. I switched to German at the end. So if you were like, that's why I had to put some German in there, because it was for the Goethe Institute, which is a German organization. But so when you're a songwriter, you don't need to be really good at facts. You can just do sort of greater imagery and stuff. But when I wrote the line about pollen on a bee's wing, I think at the time I thought that bees transfer pollen via their wings. And then much later, after I'd already submitted the song, I Googled it, and they transfer pollen via their feet, not via their wings. But I'm like, pollen on a bee's wing, it could just have been poetic. It doesn't mean I didn't know science. That is why it's awesome to be a songwriter. Anything goes. Which reminds me, today I was teaching German high schoolers songwriting, I guess, and we were writing songs in German. And sometimes the funniest things happen in translation. Like someone was trying to say ice cream is a dessert, but they were trying to say it in German, but they misspelled dessert and they wrote desert. So then the German, they submitted the idea, ice cream is a desert. And I was like, huh? But I put it into the song because in a song you can say whatever you want. Ice cream is a desert. So there. So I've been doing a lot of that teaching and songwriting and stuff. I guess I'll talk to Ramona about that stuff. But maybe I'll play one more song and then we can do the little interview or whatever and then get back to it. But let's see. I might do a cover song. Is it okay if it's not okay to do covers on this forum because of copyright or whatever, just stop me and write it's okay, right? I assume it's okay. But this is a song. It also has some curse words in it. Is that okay? It's a double whammy. Okay. It's a great song, but it does have a little curse language in it. But I've recently fallen really heavily back in love with Ani DiFranco, who was one of my first songwriting loves. And she has really stood up over time for me. I mean, the songs that she wrote when she was just 20 are just incredible. All right, YouTube, here we go. But this song is so strong. I mean, I just love the way it's written and the way it's conceived. So I will just play it, F-bombs included. It's called Untouchable Face. Walk now. I feel a little unsteady. Don't want no one to follow me, except maybe you. I could make you happy, you know. If you weren't already, I could do a lot of things, and I do. To tell you the truth, I prefer the worst of you. Too bad you had to have a better half. She's not really my type, but I think you two are forever. I hate to say it, but you're perfect together, so fuck you. And your untouchable face, and fuck you for existing in the first place. And who am I? I should be vying for your touch, and who am I? Bet you can't even tell me that much. 2:30 in the morning. Gas tank will be empty soon. Neon signs on the horizon. I'm rubbing elbows with the moon. Safe haven of sleepless where the deep fryer's always on. Radio stations counting down top 20 country songs. Out on the porch the fly strips waving like flags in the wind. I don't look forward to seeing you again, and you'll look like a photograph of yourself taken from far, far away. And I won't know what to do. I won't know what to say except fuck you. And your untouchable face, and fuck you. For existing in the first place, and who am I? I should be vying for your touch, and who am I? But you can't even tell me that much. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? See, when I'm so perplexed, what was I thinking? What will I think of next? Where can I hide? In the back room there's a lamp that swings over the pool table, and when the wind blows it swings side to side in a changing constellation. The balls as we're playing, I see your eyes, you don't say nothing. The only thing I can think of saying is fuck you. And your untouchable face, and fuck you. For existing in the first place, and who am I? That I should be vying for your touch, and who am I? But you can't even tell me that much. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I know that sounds a little bit like Dresden when it comes to the dropping of the F-bomb. It happens a lot, which is actually good practice for me because I have one song that mentions the F-bomb. It's sparingly, but it's important, and I always get really sheepish and scared, and like I don't feel quite like I can own the F-bomb in that song. So that was practice for me to just drop it left and right. But Anja Franco is so like committed to being in the genre of folk, even though she's so much more of a rock star than I could ever be. She is such a committed folk singer, so I think she paved the way for all of us to put F-bombs in our songs if we want to. I see a request for pearls. I'd be happy to do that. Maybe I'll do that, and then we can do the break. Okay, I want to heed that request right away, and then we can do the interview. All right, this is called Pearls. It's an older song. Oh, I don't know why that's gone out of tune. Nah, it's pretty good. Born and raised in the South, in a suicide town. I was only 13 when it burned to the ground. I tore up all my memories by the side of the road with the tip of a needle. They carved my story in stone. When you gonna come for me, Lord? When you gonna come for me? I've been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Will you send a little grace? It's the least that you could do. It's the least that you could do. Was not much of a poet. I was missing the anguish. Not a very good lover, could never capture the language. I was an adequate painter, but it just left me tired. I did a stint as a hitman. In those days, at least I was inspired. Oh, when you gonna come for me? When you gonna come for me? 'Cause I've been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Will you send a little grace? It's the least that you could do. It's the least that you could do. I hooked out the head down in the churchyard. I took a walk down Big Dream Boulevard. sand that gets inside this world. We should all be motherfucking pearls. So when you gonna come for me, Lord? When you gonna come for me? 'Cause I've been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Will you send a little grace? Ooh, I'm never gonna be one of God's favorites. I'm never gonna cheerlead with the angels. I tried to find a church that I could walk in. They tried to nail me on original sin. Ooh. So when you gonna come for me, Lord? When you gonna come for me? 'Cause I've been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Will you send a little grace? It's the least that you could do. Been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Will you send a little grace? Send a little grace. Send a little grace. Send a little grace. Won't you send a little grace? Send a little grace. Send a little grace. Yep, that's my F-bomb song. I wasn't even sure now whether you requested it or whether you were just like, Pearls, is that the one? Anyway, thanks, Ramona.
Thank you. That was lovely, start to finish.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your new songs with us.
Yeah, you're
It's nice to
welcome.
have a taste of what's been going on.
Have you had a lot of artists have a lot of new songs this year?
Well, so, some of them have been really busy with, like Cliff Eberhardt was here and he has a new album. He
Yep.
recorded all the parts on and all that.
Okay.
So I think it's just been a year of,
Yeah.
for folks, of learning new things. We've certainly stretched some boundaries. And
Sure. I just
so
imagine a lot of artists have created a lot of new works
I
because
think-
they were
I
home
think
so
so.
much.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to your new recording. I'm real excited about that. So how have you been spending this pandemic year? You're teaching? Are you teaching
Yeah.
online?
Well, I was teaching over Zoom exclusively, and actually
Cool.
today was the first time that I took the workshop into an actual high school in person. It was weird. It was actually weird to be in person. It almost felt vulnerable. It's like, oh, there's no place to hide. Like,
Wow.
um,
Okay, so that's a Boston school.
yeah. Right. But
And
mostly on Zoom. I was.
Are you
doing that.
teaching a German?
Yeah, so it's for German 1 and 2 classes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Great.
I bring the music into it, but they don't know that much German, so the songs are like simple, but it's really fun because they come up with the ideas and then I sort of like move them around and craft them
Wow.
into a German song with rhyme and stuff. So it's kind of a fun way for them to learn German because
Sure, that would be.
their
Yes.
words are ending up in a song, which is more exciting than just doing a worksheet.
Yes, I'm sure you're introducing them to whole new worlds.
Yep,
That's really
yep.
cool. So thank you for that Ani song too. She played here once. Did you know that?
Really? Wow. Like
Yes,
when?
in the 90s on a Tuesday night, and
was
the place
this
was
before
packed.
she was known, or she was already pretty known?
She was. It was in the early 90s, probably
Yeah, okay.
92 or 3. So I think she was.
Yeah, she was rising.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so cool. Were you at the show or?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But we have a
I'd like to have
picture,
been there.
and we're working on a video, kind of a promo video with a lot of stills of, artists over the years. And
Oh, cool.
Annie made the cut. She's in there on the
I
stage.
bet you've had a lot of
it's
amazing people.
Oh my gosh! Well, when you've been around for 45
Yeah.
years,
Right.
I remember meeting you for the first time at Apple Farm Festival,
Yes. Oh my
and
God.
Lisa Beth Weber introduced us.
That was like so many ages ago.
Well, it was in the 90s.
Yeah,
Over
I was-
20 years ago. Yes.
I was so like wide-eyed, and I just wanted to play folk music.
And here you are.
And I guess I
Yeah.
stuck with it, and
Yeah.
that's
really
all I
cool.
wanted to do with my life.
That's great. And I feel so fortunate. This is almost like a private concert sitting here and seeing you on the screen. And I'm here in the room all by myself. So I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. Oh.
And I feel so fortunate to know you and artists like yourself who come through. I'm so just grateful, of course, to be, I'm sure we all are, to be coming out of this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with a bang, right? It's happening sort of all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
It's surprising. I feel like last March the gigs just fell down like bowling pins, and now
Yeah.
suddenly they're getting booked, like kind of like wham, bookings.
Yes.
Like it's like the reverse. Like they're all flooding back.
It's
like,
true.
Oh,
It is like the
weird.
reverse.
It's happening. But
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, what we've all been waiting for. And
Yeah.
so
It's good.
that's good. So one of the things that I saw of you online in the last year are your little animations. Are they stop motion
Yeah. Stop motion
animations? They're
animations.
really just cute and sweet, and I
Thank
encourage
you.
all the listeners here to check them out. They're on your website, right? There's some on your
Yeah.
website?
YouTube is especially good for
Okay.
watching.
All right. They're really, I just love those.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been getting really
Um,
into that.
yeah. So I have one more question. The coyote howling outside your window. Were you at home when you wrote that song?
Yeah, so I live in a really wooded area, and I had my windows open,
Wow.
and they are out there, especially
Wow.
during mating season. They go like really,
Wow.
they get
I've
really
only
vocal.
I've heard them once up on our hill, but
Yeah,
um,
it's kind of
wow.
it's so wild sounding the way
Yes.
pretty
Well,
exciting.
well, coyote, thank you for the
Yeah, I was
inspiration.
like, are people gonna think it's Coyote like someone who like smuggles like a smuggler? I'm like, oh, never mind.
That's
I
true. They do
overthink
have
these
that
things.
nomer, don't they? So, okay. All right. So, and you'll be recording sometime this year, and we'll have a
Yeah,
new
I
new
really
album.
hoped to be able
Okay.
to do that. Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, we'll watch
I'm
for
always a
that.
bit slow because I'm a perfectionist, so I have so many things that are already recorded. I just need to
Uh-huh.
get some other musicians to jump on there. I think
Well,
my
good.
perfectionism usually holds me back in terms of like just releasing something, but I
It
will
can.
hopefully do
It
it by the end of
can.
this year.
Well, we like your perfect albums that you've put out so far, so keep it up.
Yeah, it's good.
So okay, well, we'll take our little sponsor break and then bring you back on for the second half. And thank you so much. This is
Perfect.
quite lovely.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. So we'll get back to Antje and more of her music in just a couple minutes. First, a reminder about Godfrey Daniels' media sponsor, the Lehigh Valley's NPR radio station, WDIY 88.1 FM. In addition to news and public affairs, WDIY is also home to an eclectic mix of music programming, including classical, folk, jazz, blues, indie rock, world music, and more. Nearly 100 volunteer programmers bring you the news and music all day, every day. Please give your support to WDIY and help them keep it going. Keep it coming over the airwaves and the internet. Be sure to tune in to WDIY each Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. for Live from Godfrey Daniels, featuring select radio cuts from live concerts performed right here on Godfrey Stage. These recordings span the decades from Godfrey's early years right up through early 2020, curated and hosted by our own Dave Fry. I would also like to give a shout out to all the members out there and donors who have been maintaining your memberships, joining in as new members, donating money through this pandemic year, really keeping the club going as we move to reopening safely in September for our new season. You can become a member of Godfrey Daniels if you wish to support us in that way. Check out the membership page on godfreydaniels.org. Thank you, folks. And now back to Antje Duvekot.
All right. I see a question from Wayne. So in 2017, I had surgery on my throat, and it threatened my singing voice. It was really scary because they were like, we don't really know if you're gonna be able to sing the same afterwards. We're gonna be really careful. But it was a really risky situation, and so because I was super worried that I wasn't gonna have my singing voice, or that it was going to maybe get impacted or impaired by the surgery, I recorded. I had about 2 weeks between when I found this out and when the surgery was scheduled to happen. So I recorded a whole bunch of cover songs in my closet leading up to the surgery. I don't know why. I think I just thought it would be a way to ensure that if I can't sing after the surgery, that at least I sang a bunch and I recorded it beforehand. But of course there wasn't time to write songs, so I sang all my favorite cover songs in the closet, where the acoustics are good. I had a really nice microphone that I used, and my plan was to release the cover album of the best of those covers. And luckily, I'm never going to stop being grateful for this, but luckily my singing voice survived the surgery, so that so I now have time to make more albums. But essentially I got pretty far with it. So to answer your question, a lot of the covers I fully have produced, and some of them just didn't really come out the way I hoped. I might just produce them differently, but a lot of them are ready to go, so I think I'm going to roll them into my next album. So that's the answer to the question. Some of those covers will end up on my next album, and then some of my new songs will end up on my next album as well. It'll just be one of those long albums, probably put a lot of songs on there. So this is another one that I wrote this year that is an original, and I think I like this one too. This is another one where I was pleased with how it came out. I was trying to sort of figure out in song where the line lies between pushing for social justice and pushing too hard with the kind of a righteousness that might turn off people who are slower to evolve. My dad, for example, is a really conservative guy, and he is just afraid of change. But I think I don't think he's a racist per se, but he is just like, why rock the boat? Things are fine. I just don't want things to change. I like the society the way it is. Like, he's just a conservative guy who is slow to the table, and it is my view that we should try to talk to people like that and try to make them come around. But I think some of the sort of intense, extreme wokeness actually antagonizes that whole section of society. So it was a complex idea, and I'm always afraid I'm saying it wrong, because it's sort of like I'm all for progress, as you'll see in this song. I just hope to have a little bit of empathy and bring people together instead of driving them apart when we try and talk about it. Like, I think it's important to open the floor so that people aren't afraid to talk about it. If we cancel them the minute they open their mouths, I think that can be counterproductive. So this song, I guess, sort of empathizes with like an old school white guy who needs to see the change, but he is slow. So this is the conversation, trying to be like, look, dude, things are changing. Like, it's just not the way it was. You're gonna have to adjust, because you used to be really privileged and you didn't even know it, and now we're telling you, and you have to, like, I don't know, a little bit of it is like happy. I'm like, your time is up, haha. Okay, I'm just gonna play the song. Sorry, I talked about it too much. I could have just played it in the same amount of time. This is called New Wild West. Hey, Alexander, you got a look on your face like a cowboy without a steed. Say, Alexander, did you get stuck into place like a sailboat without a breeze? Ooh, Alexander, the name of the game has been changed and you don't know why. Scratch the flags you hoisted to infallible heights when you were the good guys. And you feel just like a relic from Girl valor's on sale, boys can be girls. There are no damsels in distress. Welcome to your new Wild West. Change, Alexander, it will sprout from below with the tact of a patient pun. And one day, Alexander, you step out for a smoke and the world that you knew is gone. Ooh, Alexander, you commanded the stage in the age of the marble Roman. Back when the world contorted itself for your prize, when you were the good guys. And you feel just like a relic from a time that will never come back, like a furloughed colonel with nothing to command. In that room with the elephant, before you were irrelevant, on your guaranteed square in the game of musical chairs, you were never unkind, were just willfully blind back when you were blessed. But welcome to your new Wild West. And you feel just like a relic from a time that will never come back, like a furloughed colonel with nothing to command. It's called New Wild West. As in like the conservative cowboy. Never mind, I don't have to explain it anymore. I explained it so much already. I might play you a new song that's really half-baked. This one I never found a way yet to kind of play it live, but I wrote this to like a drum loop in my garage band, and it was intended to be a rap song initially, or at least in the spirit of rap. Like, I think I liked the sort of more unapologetic nature that rappers use typically in their processing trauma or whatever. Folk musicians process all these things politely, whereas rappers are like, I'm awesome, I'm great, I'm rich, screw you. Which, I don't know, I think I need a little dose of that. Because whenever I write songs about sort of like heavy things, I think it's always just like sad and minor chords, and I wanted to write a song that's like powerful and angry. So it started like that, but then it sort of devolved back to being a folk song. But I guess I'll give it a go. I really have no idea how this works on guitar, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll do it down here. Would that be crazy? Oh, maybe I'll do it no capo. So like, okay, I really don't know how to do this song. I'll do it no capo. Okay. Out of Stardust, I was exploded onto the scene. Out of my mom and pop's only chance meeting, my daddy slipped me a picture of a slingshot and a stone, and he was gone. There in my mama's apartment of bitter blue dreams, I stuffed my stars in compartments where no one could see them, and mama bended and raged to her vice and rage, and the ice age descended. And the ice age descended. Say, is that all that you've got? I assure you I am not unraveling. Let the doubters up in me, let the naysayers talk. I am the girl who out there bet you didn't see me coming. So I went inland, never bothered with the social. So I went inland, never bothered with the coastal climate, smothered by the social climbers. Yeah, no, I paved my own roads, made my inroads, spitting flows, DIY, I was winging it. No time for leisurely, this is not the DMV, goddamn ma'am. Some of us are bleeding and needing an examination, man. So patiently to radio station. Is the ice age descending? Is that all that you've got? I assure you I am not unraveling. Let the doubters up in me, let the naysayers talk. I am the girl who out-dared gravity. I bet you didn't see me coming. I think I'll try to defy gravity, and you can keep your Phoenix and SpaceX and Richard Branson. This is me flying, this is me dancing. I walk a tightrope in the eye of the storm. Give me your backlash, Cardi B warned me. You hang in place, sir, just like your world, but I'm not the man on the wire. No. I'm the man on the wire. I'm not the wireman's girl. That last line is important. It's the whole point of the song. It's like, so that line came from a documentary I watched called Man on the Wire, where this dude balances from between the two World Trade Centers back when they were still there, and it's a pretty badass act, and it's beautiful. The fact that he just decides to do that just for the sake of art. But it sort of rubbed me the wrong way because in the documentary he's like practicing, and his girlfriend is also a high beam person, but she's just like super supportive of him. And I was just like, wait, the girlfriend's just like the sort of like the support, and he's the man on the wire. So this is supposed to be girl on the wire because the girl is getting on the wire. Yeah. Part of the problem is that like there's a really high octave jump, and I don't know how to work that out live yet. But thanks for letting me try it in this little safe space. Do you guys have any more requests or anything? I could do some old ones now that are not as experimental. I'll just go for it. I'll do sort of a classic for you. This is called Long Way, and it is 20 years old now. The song is really old, but I like playing it because it still takes me back to this trip I took in the year 2000. And I still like reliving it through this song. We bid our friends goodbye. We promised we would write them and headed north up 95 into the great unknown. We turned up our stereo and I felt so reckless and alive. We didn't know who we would be. We didn't know where we would end up when we headed down that road. A little food and our guitars in the backseat in that old cello, the one that would get stolen in town in Idaho. And it's a long way, yes please, Michigan and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, clouds upon our backs, and it's a long, 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 long way. Thank you, Leon, for singing the John Gorka part to this song. It's necessary. I have never seen reflections of the cleanest blue as in Minnesota lakes. 'Cause we're the longest nights of wood smoke and northern lights as we talked until the morning came. The light of glowing embers, sweet as I remember, among the rustling of the trees. Legend of the harvest moon, sweet ballad of the loon. I felt as ancient as I was meant to be, and it's a long way to Washington and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, clouds upon our backs, and it's a long, 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 long way. I called you from a payphone in windy, cold Missoula, and then from Midland in the rain. No place as proud and sad as the South Dakota Badlands that touched me more than I could explain. The dirt poor reservation where the Oglala Nation tries to hang on to its ways. A feather and peyote pipe, 6-pack of Miller Lite sits on the dashboard of a beat-up Chevrolet. It's a long way to Delaware and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, clouds upon our backs, and it's a long, 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 long way. Well, out in California, we touched the other ocean. I still have that jar of sand. In the Arizona desert, the sky goes on forever. You've never seen a thing as grand. North Montana is cold. She keeps her secrets frozen under glaciers way up north. People have got lost up there, home of the grizzly bear. Past the mountain, but the mountain doesn't care, and it's a long way to Delaware and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, clouds upon our backs, and it's a long, 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 long way. Oh, it's a long way on the worn out heels of Kerouac. It's a long, 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 long way. Well, thanks for supporting that song. I'm glad you like it. I see a request from Mexico. I could do that. Sure. It's also been a while since I played this one, but I think I've still got it in the old noggin. It's called Mexico. It's a romantic one. Amor querido, what do you say? Say we ride down to the Mexico border, take a dive in the waters of the Rio Grande. We can wash all our troubles away. Amor querido, you are just like me. You are happiest when you are running. You got love in your fingers and a song on your lips. You got eyes that say I'll never stay. Hey darling, what you gonna do? If you're going, I will come with you down to Las Cruces and the Cypress Bayou. All I know is I like talking to you. querido, we'll live off the land. We'll make love by the side of the fire. But we don't know how to ration all that passion brings. And by the morning we'll be shivering. Oh, amor querido, still I'd rather burn out than to live in the shade of great mountains. Back at home lies the loving of an old stone house, but he could not set me free. Hey darling, what you gonna do? If you're going, I will come with you down to Las Cruces and the Cypress Bayou. All I know is I like talking to you. All I know is I like talking to you. Amor, dime que tú vienes conmigo. Vienes conmigo, mi amor. Amor, dime que tú vienes conmigo. Vienes conmigo, mi amor. Wow, Andrew, that is awesome. Andrew Dunn, my way back music friend, is outside of Godfrey Daniels right now. Right? I'm actually painting outside Godfrey Daniels as you play. You're painting. Like, what are you painting? Also really funny that that you're requesting my old songs from my cassette tapes, because I think very few people know those ones, and they were very bad. My very first cassette tape, it is buried to history, and it was pretty bad. But there was some good parts of it, but I still didn't have a grasp of lyrics very well back then. So obviously I can't play. Oh, you're painting the awning. Nice. So obviously I can't play Janine or Water Stains because, oh my God, I have no idea how those songs even go. They are very old. But I can fulfill your other request, which is Half Light. That's doable. No, wait, sorry. You said Lighthouse. I knew it was something with light. Lighthouse. Can do that. Yep. So this one's called Lighthouse, and I use this song as an example when I teach songwriting classes because it's the one song where I used a metaphor throughout. Oh no, they were bad. Wayne, you don't know these songs. You've never heard them. But this is one of the songs where I don't mix metaphors. I stick with this one metaphor. So I'm proud of that. It's called Lighthouse. You're not the first to ask, probably not the last. I don't expect you to understand why I stayed upon that rock after the birds had gone and all of the waves turned to sand. And I am a lighthouse in a desert, and I stand alone. I dream of an ocean that was here a long time ago, and I remember his cool waters, and I still glow. These days, the sunlight has bleached my paint. The moonlight has made it plain that nobody needs me to call them home. But I swear there was a time when I would shine for for him through the night. He was the only ocean I have known, and I am a lighthouse in a desert, and I stand alone. I dream of an ocean that was here a long time ago, and I remember his cool waters, and I still glow. Now my lantern bears a crack, and I know he won't be back, and I will leave the light on forever. 'Cause I am a lighthouse in the desert, and I stand alone. I dream of an ocean that was here a long time ago, and I remember his cool waters. I remember his cool waters. I remember his cool waters, and I still glow. Well, that's a really sweet comment. That's really sweet. You guys heard them differently. Well, it was like you were my first tiny little like support, you know, in terms of like supporting me doing music, which was really meaningful to me at the time, especially because my parents were really not supportive, and I needed supportiveness. So I'm glad I went for it, and you guys really helped with that. So let's see, maybe I've been feeling a lot like playing this song called Sweet Spot off my latest record, because it's truly a song about gratitude and about overcoming hardship and kind of getting to the other side of that. And I just want to play it every day now, because there's so much gratitude going around. I feel like we're all kind of experiencing like firsts post-COVID, like first night at the restaurant, first hug from a friend, first, you know, like concert indoors. Like all these firsts are happening, and every time I have a first, I feel excited and grateful, and I'm just gonna guess that you guys are having something similar like that. So this song feels kind of like pertinent right now. Oh my God, you're right. You remember that. So few people remember that. So I actually had to hide my guitar in the woods from my parents. That is true. My parents did not want me to do music. They wanted me to be a dentist, and they thought music was super frivolous. So they took my music away from me. But I managed to borrow a friend's guitar, but I couldn't have my parents see it. So this was like in high school. So I hid the guitar in the woods from my parents. And then I hid my album in the woods from them. I think sometimes like adversity can actually drive you more into the arms of the thing that you're told not to do. At least that happened for me, and I went for it. So anyway, it's called Sweet Spot. Once you stood below a mountain, now you find yourself surprised. This is the sweet spot of your life, and this new view compares to nothing on the hardships of your climb. This is the sweet spot of your life, and it would seem the ice is melting, seems you've coming from the cold. This is the the sweet spot of your life. And all your streams, they are now fuller than what the riverbanks can hold. This is the sweet spot of your life. So you must hold these days like treasures in a jewel box in your heart. This is the sweet spot of your life. For you know well they are most precious. Into an old tree you must carve them. This is the sweet spot of your life. And may it only sting a moment when you dive into that blue. This is the sweet spot of your life. 'Cause by the time you hit the surface, it has rearranged you. This is the sweet spot of your life. You always wanted something solid, just one solid thing. Oh, but angels are so fickle, they only love you when you sing. But you don't need those fickle angels to shine. This is the sweet spot of your life. Once you stood below a mountain, now you find yourself surprised. This is the sweet spot of your life. 'Cause this new view compares to nothing on the hardships of your climb. This is the sweet spot of your life. And may it only sting a moment when you dive into the blue. This is the sweet spot of your life. By the time you hit the surface, it has rearranged you. This is the sweet spot of your life. This is the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot of your life. Yay, we have another sweet spot coming up. And I don't know, this whole, I don't think we can like walk out of this epidemic unchanged, but the changes are so different for everyone. But I certainly I think I'm gonna be more in my body and more centered, and I don't know, I had so much time to think. And I don't know, I guess what I mostly came away with from the pandemic was you don't know when the end is. Things could stop whatever, in whatever way. In this case, they stopped temporarily, but things could be over and stop at any minute, which was something that we all felt sort of viscerally. And so I think going forward, I'm really going to do my best to focus on what I'm passionate about, and I'm really going to do my best to do less of the things that I do out of duty. Obviously, one can't completely live in a whimsical world of passion, but it's certainly something to strive for. So one of the things that I became really passionate about this year was the art of stop motion animation. I am so in love with it, and there's this little voice in me that's like, no, you can't start over. Like, you can't start something that you're not good at yet, or you can't start a new skill. You should just fix up your other skills, like learn how to play guitar better or whatever. But the thing is, I have such joy when I do these little cartoon animations. I mean, the joy is indescribable. And I think I used to just think like it was important to be good at something or something. It was drilled into me. And as I get older, I've become much more aware that it's much more important to enjoy what you do than to be the best at it. It's just one of those things I came away with from this experience. I sort of remembered what it's like to be excited about a new art form. So I think I'm gonna finish this night off with a song by John Prine, because I've also been playing his music a lot lately, because he was the first sort of person that I knew a little. I mean, I didn't know him very well or anything, but I had met him, and I have loved his music ever since I can remember. And he was one of the people who passed away sort of early on in the pandemic from COVID, and it was so sad. He was such a sweet, warm, humorous man with so much depth and insight, and like a special guy. So I shall finish this show with a John Prine tune. And thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks for reminding me of my first album, and the way back fans make me so happy. Yeah. Thanks, you guys. And I'll see you hopefully in, IRL, as they say. But otherwise, I'll also see you again on these kind of forums. But I have a bunch of real shows, so check my calendar. Okay, it's called Angel from Montgomery. So, I don't know if John Prine ever played at Godfrey Daniels, but I'm honored to have been here virtually. Godfrey Daniels is such a renowned and historical music club. It is a little bit of like sacred ground, and people talk about it in that way. And I feel the same way. And thank you, Ramona, and thank you, Jason. It was really nice to be with you. All right, here we go. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown old. If dreams were lightning, thunder were desire, this old house would have burned down such a long time ago. Make me an angel who flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. 'Cause to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, well, I had me a cowboy, and he weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. Oh, but that was a long time, no matter how I tried. Those years, they just roll by like a broken down. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. 'Cause to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. There's flies in the kitchen, I can hear them and they're buzzing. And I ain't done a damn thing since I woke up today. Well, how the hell can a person come home in the evening and have nothing to say. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. 'Cause to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. And to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Thanks. All right. Oop.
Thank you, Antje.
You're welcome.
Quite lovely.
See you
I
in
feel
the
so
fall.
fortunate. So, I mean, music has carried a great number of us through this pandemic year, and thank you for being part of that.
Thank you.
It's vital.
Vice versa. It was such a mutual thing. It was amazing to have
Okay,
this forum. So
great. And we'll work on getting you in here in the club on the
yeah,
stage, and hopefully with your new CD. But even if it's before that,
we'll work it out.
we'll be waiting with open arms.
Oh, we'll see you guys then.
Okay, take care now.
Good night.
Just a reminder that we're continuing with Positively Godfrey Daniels live from 4th Street as long as we can. We have artists who are willing to come in, even though it's summertime and we're usually slowing down and closed down. We've been closed down for quite a long time. So next week on the series, we have from a remote location, Grace Pettis will join us. Some of you know Grace. She's part of the trio Nobody's Girl. And the following Thursday on June 24th, live streaming from right here on our stage, our good friend Ann Hills will be here with her new album, Accidental August. That's another live stream. And then as new dates are added, we'll certainly keep you posted. We will be at Music Fest this year. We're returning for Godfrey Daniels Day at Liederplatz on Sunday, August 15th. And the artists who will be there are Piper's Request, Pyranesia, Alex Radis, Jack Murray, and the Blue Tarp Wranglers, and we'll be closing the evening out with the Alexis P. Suter Band. So we hope to see you there. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you.